Hey guys, my name is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm heading up to my antique booth to rearrange with my mom. We have a booth together called Green Onion Vintage, and we're in a shop called My Treasure House. And even though we're closed because of the pandemic, our owners have been doing a really good job to do online sales on Mondays. We've been doing Facebook Live videos. So it's really important that we get up there, rearrange our booth, and keep it looking fresh for the audience, because somebody won't take a double look if they feel like they've already seen that booth before. So we really need to keep it looking like there's new items in there. And we actually are going to bring in a few new things. You can see behind me that ladder and those shutters. I have just a couple smalls to put in today. But the main goal of today is just to rearrange what's in there, because we really haven't done a big rearranging job since before the shop closed. Most of this video is just going to be a fast forward of us rearranging, and I'll give you a walkthrough at the end. But I will definitely slow down the video for you if we get into a good fight, which almost always happens. It's true though. Not a bad fight, just like a little fight. All right, so let's head up there. So here's what we're starting with. This is kind of our before. Except we just brought that piece in and that really cool suitcase. This white table sold, so we're going to pull this to the front of the shop. And everything else we're probably going to move somewhere else. Right? This wall's bare now because I sold a pair of cabinet doors.
I want to switch the blue secretary with this. This gets lost here.
And we just have smalls everywhere. They've been pulling stuff for their live shoppings on Monday, which is fine, but now everything needs a
check the Easter rabbit
spruce.
Salt peppers out again.
Oh yeah, we've gone through Easter already, and that happened.
Well, you can leave, bunnies are in. They're really in. So we could leave them there for decor if you want, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Mother's Day is coming up. We'll keep some of the girly stuff.
That's really in. Those.
What's that? The
bread paddles.
Bread paddle?
I want to take it home. I'm like, I have that and I want it.
You should. I see it on Pinterest. They make them look so cool.
And that's an authentic one. I overpaid for it.
So if you're not dizzy yet, that's everything we're starting with. All right, we are all finished up. Took about an hour and a half, which is actually pretty good for a full rearranging. I'm just really happy with how it looks. Everything looks really nice and springy. We took out, I don't know if you noticed, there were a couple red items that we took out in the beginning. It was pretty clear to us that the red was not seasonally appropriate. It was just throwing off the eye. So kind of get coming back in with a good color story will really refresh the space. So we just took out the things that were a bit of an eyesore and added in those few new items that we brought in, including those shutters, that little washboard. Let me see what else. That step ladder over there. And if you didn't watch me DIY those, I have a video I will link below for you showing you how I did those. I also have a video making this sign that these are the good old days. It's a faux chalkboard. So I'm just going to walk through here really slowly so you guys can see everything that we did, kind of the items we're featuring. If you're familiar with our booth, Green Onion Vintage, we're at a store that is an antique store but also a home decor store. So we're allowed to have new items and antiques, also crafts, refinished furniture, and new items. You can see like I'm doing the Ray Dunn. No, the Ray Dunn sales for me have definitely slowed ever since we had a Home Goods open up in town. We had a TJ Maxx open, and then maybe 2 years later, I don't even know if it was 2 years later, maybe 1 year later, we got a Home Goods, and so that kind of killed my Ray Dunn sales, but that's okay. Okay, so that's this side of the booth. We kind of intentionally left the brighter furniture on this side. Did a lot of florals. I mean, this booth really looks like springtime now. We try to really kind of keep our similar colors together. Whereas this side we have definitely a darker palette going on, but I think it works. There's just something kind of like old world about this side. Feels like an old library. We got these books and this amazing metal, probably like a tool sorter, like, I don't know, what do I want to say? Like a bin that would have sorted, you know, screws and bolts and that kind of thing. That is my guess. It probably came out of like an old hardware store. So there's our little booth name up there. That welcome sign in the middle is just an old window that I've redone, and I have a video showing you how to do that as well. We just brought in that big old suitcase. We brought in those old books, which we bring in on a regular basis because they're a really good seller for us. It's an amazing waterfall buffet. The paint color on this is collard greens from Dixie Belle. It's just a really cool dark green. It goes really gray. And that we just marked down to $2.50. We brought in this washstand today with that gingham surface on top and on bottom, and that is so cute. And here we just kind of try to play with height, so we are using that floor space up as much as we can. I mean, we pay rent based on the square footage, so you don't want to leave too much bare space. You want to use up as much as you can without blocking the stuff behind it. So you kind of accomplish that by building in layers. Do your shorter items in front, or items that you can see through, like that washstand. You can see right through the bottom of it. And that just gives you like a really good layered look to your booth, and also makes it more cost effective for yourself. On this side, I did bring in that new sign. These are the good old days. That's in that same sign tutorial video as the other sign I showed you. I always get comments that I go too quickly, so I'm just trying to be as slow as I can without just taking forever. That chicken coop is something we just get comments on all the time. I think we just marked it down. I don't remember. Maybe not. I think it's 20% off though, the whole store is right now. Like I said earlier, we're still closed for quarantine. But I think we're reopening pretty soon is the goal. And during the quarantine, I think most of the stores have been 20% off just to try to get some sales going. Just trying to let you look at that little vignette there. Just a few layers there to get through. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up on of the stuff on the buffet. So I put an old book up there. This container. These are cool. They're kind of ceramic. I don't know. This might be what ironstone is. People talk about ironstone all the time, and it's just not something I'm super familiar with, so I need to figure out better. But those are just really neat candlesticks. Got an old butter churn here. I make these signs. This is called a reverse canvas style. These are a really popular seller for me. I just love like all the layers on this little galvanized tray. I was telling my mom while we were doing this that I realized, like with greenery, it's almost better to go more than you think you need to. Because when you start to layer the greenery, that's when you really start to get just like a really springtime and just like a fresh look in your house. Like you're really bringing the outside in. And I've just been enjoying that so much in my own home. I just love this little chest of drawers. This oak medicine cabinet is so old. It's really cool. It's still got its towel bar down there. Just a really cool old oak color. See, we got some pewter on top. Still trying to feature some copper. I love that little copper strainer especially. And then one of the big moves we did was we moved this blue hutch, or this blue secretary desk over from the other side. And the thinking behind that was just we had a tall piece in our neighbor's booth. So it just looked better to have a tall piece up against that. And like I said in my intro, I mean, as soon as you move something, you kind of just like get new interest in it. It can start to get hidden if it's been in one spot for a while, even if it's out in the open. And it never fails that we'll get a sale on something that's been in our booth for months just because we move it to a different spot. I mean, it happens every time. So if you're also an antique booth dealer, let me know your tips below in the comments. If you feel like sales are dragging, what do you do to kick things back up? Giving you a little final look here. I'm not talking too much about the furniture because some of these pieces, most of these pieces actually, were probably in my last antique booth tour. We haven't had a ton of furniture sales, you know, considering we're closed. There have been some online sales going on, but it's nothing like when we're open. It's hard. I just feel like it's hard to buy furniture when you haven't seen it in real life. Even though I know people do it all the time through Facebook Marketplace. I think our stuff is priced at a higher point where it's just a price point where you wanna know what you're getting into before you buy it. I love this little table. The only other tip I would probably have for you in this video is just to really mix up your price point in your booth and also mix up the sizes of items you have. I mean, you can see we have a huge variety of sizes, just from this gigantic buffet all the way down to this little end table. You're gonna wanna have a mixture of things that are an impulse buy and then things that are a planned purchase. You know, something that somebody is hunting for and they've been looking for a while, and you have the piece that they want. Like, you definitely want those. Those are mostly the money makers, but as far as like your regular paycheck, like what's going to pay for your rent, that's going to be those smaller items that people just come in and you're basically telling them that that's what they want. That's why I really like this store, is because it's so much more about design than just like some antique stores are just more of a flea market feel. Whereas this one is more like, we try to place it in a way like you could see it in your home. I just think that gives people the confidence to make that purchase if you kind of make the design for them. Okay, I've been going in a few circles right now, but I know that there's a lot to see and everybody likes to see everything up close. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna let you go there. I'm gonna take some final shots. I'll just play those for you now. I really appreciate you watching this video. Let me know how you liked it in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.